All right, guys, how about that? I went to all this trouble, set up all this stuff over here, and yeah, guess what I did not attach to the computer? Yep, you guessed it, power cord. So when the battery ran out of juice, I ran out of time. So that's where I went. Yeah. So I drained my battery down and it quit on me. Now Tippy wants back out. I should have let him out when I was trying to get started back up. Hang on. So anyway, don't mind me while I walk in front of the camera, show you my slipper socks. Oh goodness, yeah. That was not a good thing. Yeah, Lisa. I need to let them know at the other that I am new again. Let's see if I can do that. Hopefully I won't lose you guys while I'm messing around over here. All right, let's see. All right, so. Yeah, it helps if you make sure the power cord's attached to the computer. So this is what we made in the first session, and I was going to finish up this other one. And technically, you should use thread that matches your project, but I think that's going to be just fine for what I'm going to use it for. So yeah, and if I can find some real cotton batting with no polyester in it, I will make some of these as gifts at Christmas, because these are not microwave safe. These are catch your junk ready. Yeah, I neglected to put the power cord on the computer when I moved my setup over here to my sewing machine, and that makes a huge difference. Let's see if we can get some more light over here. Well, I'm like, I'm done and ready. Yeah, I had a boo-boo. And then Tippy was acting like a fool too, so I just let him back out. So hopefully he'll let me at least finish this up. I think Mary's hoping to catch me. I'll finish this bowl. Hopefully I won't break a needle. I think the quality of anything metal has gone just into the toilet. So 2 inches down on that side, 1 inch over this side, and then draw a line in between. That's what you sew on. I'll have to make sure I give this girl credit and a link to her blog. This is a fun little pattern, and I think other people might enjoy doing it. And seeing pictures like she has sometimes helps new sewers. So definitely go visit the Happy Hour Stitcher. I don't know why I closed that stupid pen up. I'd still need it here. Thanks, Danina. It's hard to catch everybody that's live these days. Everybody's doing lives. And I'm having trouble just keeping up with everybody's videos. I'm going to start looking for a new doctor so that I can feel more at ease about my health, because I don't know. I don't like being cast aside to just a nurse practitioner with no warning like that. That was a bit odd. And then Scott went and got a new doctor for himself, and that guy's retiring and quitting. So I'm like, I think we're just bad news for doctors. They just don't want to deal with us. Oh, I bet those are cute. Just make sure they're 100% cotton if you're planning to use them for these things that go in the microwave. Yeah, sure. I'd love to see you guys' your bowls. You guys can feel free to post any project that you've done. Oh gosh. That just does not sound like it's doing right. I'm just going to move that up just enough to get the next one in. Yeah, it helps if you give your computer power, that's for sure. It kind of needs some juice to go, doesn't it? Come on. There we go. I think I have one more on this one. Yeah. Come on. All right. I want to see if I can get one of these. I want to try to finish sewing this with just the thread I have in it. So I don't have to do a bobbin, but I'm afraid I'm not going to make it all the way around. Sorry, guys. Tippy went out because he was playing he plays the mini blinds. He gets over there and he clicks them up and down, and they're metal mini blinds, so he makes a lot of noise. I told Scott that's the Forlorn Feline song. He's like, I'm bored, I'm bored, I'm bored. You're not holding me. Usually he'll come in and I'll cuddle him and I'll put him on his little bed I have for him on the couch. But I was doing this, so he got mad at me and went back outside. You just have to remember when you get to a turn spot is put your needle down in your fabric and then lift your presser foot and turn. And it does take a little work, and you got to be careful over these little humpy bumpy things. That's what gave me the worst time. All right, so one of them turn right side out. And then the other one I'm going to leave wrong side out. Is that right? And then you take this one and you set it in this one, right sides together. So you got your two fabrics together. And then I pin it real good so it doesn't shift around on me. I'm hearing lots of ching, ching, chings on my phone, like people are looking for me that they haven't seen. I've started a new live session. And that was my own fault. I forgot to plug the stupid machine in. I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 stop needles in here so I can know where I want to stop. The only reason I do the 2 pins like that is so that I stop when I need to. Ideally on these would sew over better if you put one seam going that way and one seam going this way, so they kind of nest together, but that's kind of hard to do on that little chunky seam there. I just keep stabbing myself. Now I'm going to match up my points again. I just put lots of pins in it to hold it because there is a lot of twisting and stuff going on. Ow! This is a pretty easy pattern, but I would say it's maybe an intermediate project simply because you have to know how to go over fat seams and stuff. I don't know if I would necessarily try to teach it to young children. Usually they do good with flat pot holders or tote bags, things like that. If I can get my hands on a bag of lavender, we'll do sachets before the 6 weeks is up, because I was going to do these sewing bees for 6 weeks, and we'll see how they go. And if they're good, we'll continue. If not, I'll probably stop doing them. Thank you, Danina. Thank you so much. I didn't see Janet in here, so I was wondering if I'd lost my Janet too. I'll have to make a note to self. Next time, remember to plug the computer in, you silly nut. I'm telling you, these pins are for the birds. I wish you could buy quality stuff here now instead of all this cheap made stuff. I don't mind spending a little bit more for quality. Something that'll last my lifetime. I don't care too much about spending the least on stuff that's crap, you know. Wouldn't mind spending a little bit more to have like some nice heavy pins with nice sharp points. Am I there yet? I am. All right, so I'm going to put 2 pins just to remind myself to stop sewing right about here. All right. And I did take my accessory pack off the side of my machine so that I'd have more room to turn and maneuver. So that's why it looks different than it did in the last video at the beginning. I think Mary's going to really enjoy it. And it's just so funny to me that she's the one that was saying that she wasn't going to make it to make up, you know, a bowl cozy for the microwave, and she's the one with the material for it, making it, and I can't find the stupid material. I know the Joann's I used to manage had the potato baking, and that's basically the same thing. It goes in the microwave. I just need to get some of that. Let's see if I can make one seam go one direction and one the other, and see if that does better. No, because it's just pushing it over. I don't know where the phone is. Hang on, guys. Sorry. Nope, sorry. I don't have a name attached to the number. I don't answer it. Sorry, guys. Oh, Scott, you guys are going to laugh at this. Scott got one of those improve your credit card interest rate calls. And the guy goes, oh, so I see you're always on time and you're rarely late with your payments. And Scott said, oh, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. He said, I've got some I haven't paid in like 2 or 3 months. And the guy was, huh? He said, but your record shows you pay on time. Scott said, oh, no, I'm almost ready to lose the house. And the guy quit playing and hung up the phone. I said, you really shouldn't play with them like that. Oh, no, we're 2 or 3 months. The house is about to be foreclosed on. He said, well, they deserve it. They're calling me, and I didn't ask them to call me. I was like, okay. Now, if you guys would like to do just some flat pot holders, we can do those next week. I think I have the stuff you're supposed to use in pot holders. I'll have to double check. I use the Thinsulate on my pot holders. Well, that one went nice and smooth. Wish they'd all do that. Oh, Aunt Beck, I will mail you what I have. I don't need it. Oh, okay. Are you sure, Mary? Because you could make you a bowl for your bowl. They really look neat. Let me show you the one I finished before I fell off. Here's the one I finished. And our bowls fit pretty good. So I could put that in the microwave and I could get it back out without scalding my hands. The Thinsulate has a metallic coating in it, so you couldn't put it in the microwave. It's a kind of a heat resistant thing, but it would not handle microwaving. It would spark and carry on and not be good. Is Barb Filion in here? Because I was going to tell her I got Karen Nolan's round robin quilt, and as soon as I get a border added to it, I'll be mailing it on to her. But I've got to go through my fabric and find some pink and greens to match because it's all pink and green. Karen and Barb were the only ones that didn't do Christmas quilts. The rest of us all did Christmas quilts, but they all did, the two of them did a different thing. Like Barb's done the most beautiful batik elephant quilt, and I can't hardly wait to work on that one. That'll be the last one I work on for this round robin. But yeah, anytime you get to a point on these, slow down, put your needle in down into the thread, and then lift your presser foot and turn your fabric. Don't try to just turn your fabric while you're moving, because it won't work out for you. You'll stretch it all out of shape and it won't be good. But yeah, getting over these little darts is kind of tricky. This one's going a little bit smoother. Oh, I'm at the end. Cool. All right, so I'm not going to come down very far on this. All right, and then we'll back up a little bit. And that I might leave a comment on this lady's blog that I would add the tip of when you get sewn all the way around and you're about to turn it right side out, to just snip above your stitching on each corner at an angle like that, so that you don't have all that bulk in them corners. All right. So yeah, this is the tricky part, getting all this mess through this little teeny hole. If I can get the right hole, that's not it. Listen, there we go. I might go get that round robin and show it to you guys since you're all here. It's going to be in a video later, though. I've got a video made of all the mail I got in. I got painty papers and cards. Now, see, the cards I've been sending out, where I've challenged myself to send out 6 handmade cards every week using my scrappy bits. I don't have all 6 made. I've got almost 3 made. I got 2 completed this morning, plus 1 is almost done. So I need to make 3 more. But I'm using just bits out of my scrap bags. And it doesn't matter what I pull out. Like right now, the ones today were all pink. Had nothing to do with fall. This takes some work, you guys, getting it turned right side out. Maybe if I pull from the middle. There we go. Running around like a chicken with your head cut off. It's because Mary got up before the rooster this morning. Oh, man. Come on. Just do your magic and flip to the right side. Get some of that shoved down in. There we go. We'll shove it down in there. there we go. And boop. And I'll get my little turn right side out tooly thing here. I've used this so much, it's smooth as it can be, which is good because I don't poke through the hole, through the tips like I used to. All right. Yeah, Mary, I pulled a bonehead thing and forgot to plug the computer in, so it had no power. We did the first hour with just the battery. My computer's not going to like me doing that too much, I don't think. So I guess I need to make sure everything's got power to it. All right, there's that one. Gotta get this one. I forgot how much I enjoy sewing. I really do enjoy it. We used to, I used to make Halloween costumes for us, for Scott and I, and for Greg. I made Greg a pleather matrix coat. Oh my word, that was just, sewing pleather is not a joy to behold, that's for sure. I was so glad to get that jacket done. And then I just kind of work it a little bit, try to get all the seams to settle in, and because then now you got to go around and top stitch and close up your little opening that you turned. Okay, I think I'll stick a pin in to start this off. It's because it's got the darts in it. But the 2 layers of batting help hold it shape too. I was saying earlier, if you use some of that stiff Pellon, which is impossible to sew through, I don't know, I might ask Tanya about that. But it has darts in it because you start with a 10-inch square, you draw your X, and then you put a dart in the sides, and then that makes it turn up like a flower. I'm not sure I got enough thread there to do the top stitching, but you have to do these top stitching around the top edge too. You can see where my thread messed up a little bit there, but it's all right. And it's reversible, so you can, if you don't want it with the white side inside, you can put it to the outside. Yeah, the batting is helping give it some form too, because there's 2 pieces of batting, because you put a piece of batting on the back of each piece and do this X sewing business. Oh yeah, that could be cute around a clay pot too. If you had a bigger square and made bigger darts, you could make it so it was deeper too. That might be worth, playing around with. I really kind of like the white print on the outside, especially if I'm using these for catch-alls. I'm just checking something. I'm thinking. You could almost make a little gift wrap out of that. If you could put something, like you start piling these up like you're putting your hand in for something, and then have something from the bottom come up through the other ones. And see, you could put something in there and hide it. I don't know. That's a neat idea. I might have to show these to my sister. She does pottery. So might be something we could team up on and do for family gifts. She could make bowls and I could make the bowl cozies. But catching up with her is almost impossible because she leads a very active life. She teaches art at an elementary school, and then almost every weekend she's participating in a SCA event. Yeah, all of that sounds good. Velcro, ribbons. I'm just thinking how neat that would be to have to wrap something. Even if it was just a little bit, you could, if you would, my mind is working faster than my mouth. If you had, like, I've got Ethel across the street. She's 80 years old and she lives there by herself. And I was thinking at Christmas, if I did like a dozen little cookies and put them in here, if there was a way that I could like close it up so they're kind of hidden as a temporary fix, and then she could use it as the bowl cozy later. So that's why I'm thinking something that's not permanent. I guess I could fold it around and then wrap a ribbon around it. I'm just thinking gift ideas. That could be a fun gift for shut-ins. Christmas cookie platter, yeah. And if you're sending it to a single lady like that, or like my mother-in-law, she lives on her own and she's in her 90s. And she's not supposed to have a lot of cookies, but if you only gave like, half a dozen cookies would be better. All right, let me see if I can get all the way around this doing top stitching with the bobbin I have, because my bobbin is almost empty. The walking foot really does help too. Oh, come on. Come on. Trying to find my lift foot. There we go. Lift handle. Come on. I'm having to really kind of help it along because that's a lot of fabric to go through. 2 layers of batting and two layers of fabric, and then all that thread, and it's a lot to get through. But these have been a lot of fun, so thanks to Tanya for recommending this one, because I'd never heard of them. Needle down. And if I had it to do again, I would probably use a thread that would match the red better. Come on. Come on. Yep, talk to inanimate objects. Sometimes they listen. Not. Come on. Are we almost to the beginning? We're getting there. Sorry, guys, I can't watch chat when I'm doing this. I don't want to sew my fingers. Always make sure your needle's down in your fabric when you're doing anything that is involved in turning. That way you don't pull your fabric completely out from under the presser foot. Come on. Come on. I know. Come on. Come on. Oh, don't tell me. Come on. Oh, don't you run out. We only have like 6 inches left to sew. Oh, I can see the bobbin's middle. I am so close. I got to go down this one and back up the other one just a tiny little bit. Trying to get it up under that foot. Come on. Oh, no. I ran out. Oh, the $1. It was the instruction book for the sewing machine is what I was getting. It's just the book. It wasn't the machine. But yeah, I'll show it here in a minute. I don't like when that happens. So bring y'all up here. We might have to cut the lamp off behind. That's okay. There we go. That might be better. All right, cut your thread away at the top and pull it down through the bottom. Never jerk your thread back up through or you'll have a nightmare mess inside your machine. All right, so now I'm going to do something Tanya said not to do. But what I do is I trim it really short after I do this. Okay, so you've got a little catch at the back of this machine. So I go under that. Then there's this little wonky thing here. You want to come around this little, there's a little thingamabob there. I don't know what you call it, a hook. Then once you're around that hook, then you're going to go around this round piece here. And then I do what Tanya said not to. I put it through the hole in the bobbin. And then I put it on, and then you have to lock it over. And now my machine tells me there's a bobbin in place to be wound. So then I just start. And once I see that there's a couple layers of thread, then I come in here and I cut this all the way down as close as I can get to the bobbin. So there's nothing sticking out. And then I just go to town. Oh, I'm done. Started wrapping around the top of the bobbin. Then you push that over and then lift your bobbin off, and it's all wound up, ready to go. Becky, did you? Yeah. I'll show you. It was a book, Mary. All right, so I'm gonna put this in, and like I think it was Allie Kay said, when you're going to drop your bobbin in here, I need canned air to blow that out. It needs to make a letter P. So it comes off the left side. You drop it in, and then there's a little guide in the bottom, and you just bring your thread across like that. And there's even a blade on this one under here to cut things off, but I don't hardly ever use that one. All right, so now I'm going to go under that same hook And then my machine is so easy to thread. Mine, I just come down the front of my machine and just follow this slot, and then there's an arrow. It says go down and over and down. And that's all I have to do for this machine. I don't have to feed it through anything or anything. Then down at the top of the needle, there's a little place with a hook that you hook your thread around there. Then I just come up over this thing here. Oh, I do want to make sure my needle is in the full up position. All right, you come over the little, there's a little hook there. You come under that tab, then back across here. Then you just push this button and it threads the needle. My favorite. That was the main reason Scott got it for me, so I could see. Again, I've got way too much thread. I've got thread everywhere in this house. All right. Then generally I pull my thread to the back. Always when you turn your wheel on the side of your machine, turn it toward you. So turn it toward you and just keep turning it toward you until you see the thread. The upper thread will come across the bottom thread and it'll pull it up. I'm having trouble seeing it. There we go. So there you go. Then you can just close that and you're good to go. And I can finish my top stitching right here. I've got maybe 3 inches left on here. I'll go get that book here in just a minute, Mary. I'll have these done then. That book needs some first aid. I had to dig for all of the parts of it. It was in a box and it didn't have a price on it. And I got up to the register, and on the register, it had one of those signs, unmarked or unpriced goods will not be sold. They'll be taken back and they will not be processed the same day. I was like, oh, that's going to stink if I can't get that book for $1. Come on, why are you hanging up so badly? There we go. Yeah, getting up over them darts, that's a trip. Ooh, don't want to cut the bowl after all that. Well, it didn't sew very pretty. This machine needs to go in for a clean and lube, I think. I think it needs some oil. I think I've got some that I can oil it, but it really needs a cleaning. I just don't know where I can take it. The man I used to use retired, and he was getting to where it would take him 6 weeks to get to your machine because he was that good. He just had a backlog. I hate when thread does like that, but these are catch-all bags, so it doesn't matter. All right, so I'll get that book and show you. Oh, yeah. Those are so cool. The other thing I wanted to show you guys real quick was these scissor keepers that I made these years ago. This is something we could make, and you do not have to sew these. You can do these with hot glue. This is just held together with hot glue, and it's still held together. And I made these back in late 80s, early 90s. But they're just still sewing scissors keepers. Do you know what they're made out of? A pot holder. Inexpensive pot holder, lace, ribbon. They're a lot of fun. I made a couple. One's for my regular sewing scissors and one is for my pinking shears. And I usually have them just hanging on the wall behind my sewing machine. But these would be something we could make if you guys want to. I mean, it's not something we have to make, but we could if you guys wanted to. Yeah, I think my Aunt Nellie had a treadle machine, and she made quilts for all us kids that got married. And we'd go visit her, and she'd give us our quilt, and then give us the speech about how she was going to she's getting used to dirt, and she would quit dusting because she was going to be 6 feet under soon enough, and she wanted to get used to her new home. I was like, Aunt Nell, she lived to be almost 100 years old, though. So I'm going to raise you guys back up. I'm going to grab that bag of stuff I found. And I want to show you that quilt, too. I've got such a mess. I've got to clean house this afternoon, I think. I've got to vacuum and do all that stuff. Put stuff away that I haven't put away in a while. I need another hand. I need to put that stuff down. Yeah, I got stuff. There we go. Oh, hi, Kathy. I finished 2 of them, and since I just left these, one's one way, and then this one I've just got the other way. They're a lot of fun to make. I'll put the link to the girls' blog that had the instructions for those. And I just went and got one of my bowls just to see if it would fit. I got that big old bowl at Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree, when they first opened near our house in Casey. So that's what I made today. And then Mary wanted to see the, I think, Mary, you thought it was a machine, and it's just the book. It's in bad shape. But it's the Golden Touch and Sew Deluxe Zigzag Sewing Machine. And I couldn't remember which Singer model you had. So I went ahead and got this one simply because it shows you all these really good drawings and just all kinds of stuff for this machine. But, most of this stuff will pass from one machine to another. So I said, well, it's not Mary's machine, but it's got enough information in it that my instruction book did not come with. I'll just take it and read it and see if I can learn more about my own machine. So that was $1. Hi, Mary Hill. I'm just sharing a little thrift haul as a bonus here. This was $1.50. I don't know why I thought it was 50 cents, but it's a piece of Aida that's 15 by 18, and it's a 14 count. And this normally sells at Hobby Lobby for, I don't know, because I just tore the sticker off, something $79. And then, of course, I know Lisa Elaine and Lisa Conway each want a set of these. So I've got a few sets left there. Those aren't for my hair. Those are for mixed media painting. I got these old-timey buttons for 50 cents. That's what I got for 50 cents. And then some round elastic cord for $1. So that's what we got there. Oh, I didn't see you left, Mary. I was showing the book I got for $1 on this machine. And it was all about that Singer, but I was saying it shows you Now, see this stuff? They're talking about these discs. My dressmaker has all those discs, and I've never been able to get it to work, ever. I was so excited when I got it for my high school graduation from my Uncle Charlie, and then I've never been able to get those little things you set down in the top of the machine, and it's supposed to adjust how the needle goes so you can do all of those fancy stitches. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I've got those discs, but I've never, like I said, I've never been able to get them to work. And then I shared this in a video, but I haven't uploaded it yet, and I want to share it now, so I'm going to share it again. So you'll get to see this again. But this is one of the ladies that's in my quilt group. This is her round robin. Let me move you guys back a little bit. There we go. And I have to add a border, and it's all pale pink and kind of a sage, light sage green. So I'll add my border, and then I have to send this to Canada to Barb Filion, and she'll add a border, and then Karen gets it back. So I'm thinking it needs a nice, maybe a 2-inch, a 1.5 to 2-inch green solid, or it reads solid strip, and then a pieced border. So I'll see what I can come up with. And Barb came up with an excellent idea for the quilting group I try to keep up with and keep everybody going with projects and stuff. And I told her, I said, well, if you don't mind, we might snitch that for another group or something and do maybe a journal or a project a month, and then everybody could just share it. You don't have to mail anything or any of that. I kind of like the idea of that. This is way up high now. Sorry, guys. There we go. Whoa! So anyway, it's 4:30. I've got thread everywhere. It needs another color or something. And I was looking at, I'll pull it back out. I was looking at her center block, because see, that's what I do. When I get a round robin, I look at its beginning, the very center block. That's hers, that she created herself. And I'm like, well, those are colors that she likes. It's actually got even a pale yellow. That's a good color. You can see the colors in it. That's why I was thinking, if I did a 1.5 to 2-inch border in one of these greens out on here, and then did another pieced border of some sort, whether it's stars or points or whatever, I thought that would be really neat. Even if I did rows of the flying geese around the edge before I send it on, but it needs a calming border. I always like, somebody else has added these white strips. That gives your eye somewhere to rest before you move on to the next exciting border. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The green would be awesome. So I need to pull out my green tub and go through it. And what did Mary call it? You try them. What's it called? I don't know. You make them try out for it. Yeah, the little scissor holders are a lot of fun to make. And I was thinking, I've got that spare banana rack. The craft closet. thinking, what if I made some that would fit this, but they're too long. I need some smaller pot holders. Oh, well, it was an idea. Or a smaller hook. No, it would have to be really small. Those work best if you can hang them on the wall or off a lamp or something. Audition it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okie dokie, guys. I think I'm going to let you go. I'm going to start cleaning up this wreck I've made. And I want to thank you guys for stopping in today. And we made some really cool cozies for bowls. But I'm going to use mine for baskets, catch-alls on tables, since I could not find the batting I needed or the thread. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. If I can find lavender, we'll do lavender sachets next week. I might actually do 2 projects next week if they're small projects. So we'll have to look at our list and see. I think sachets was on there. Christmas stockings was on there. I don't have my list in front of me. Yeah, Mary, on Tuesdays, Mary Hill, I'm coming on at 2 Eastern time on Tuesdays. 2 on Tuesdays, but Eastern time. And then I'll be on tomorrow night at 7, my usual time. All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.